Good evening, and good evening. This is Dr. Garrett, and welcome to my Zoom format this evening. Right, we will be talking about a very, very important topic. Whether you're single or married, the topic of dating is extremely important. There are similarities and differences when it comes to dating. And dating is something that we should continuously do, whether we are single or whether we are married. I will be uploading this video to my YouTube channel, right? Because it's extremely important to motivate others. I consider myself a spark, and a spark is purposeful with starting fires. And the fire I desire to ignite is to influence my brothers and sisters for change, right? I worked in the field of children's services for the last 34 years, 5 hours, 4 minutes, and 3 seconds. I got 3 more years before I retire. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, let me get something to drink. So I'm in the process of sharing all my experiences with my staff, with anyone who I come in contact with, because I truly believe in living in optimism, living in positivity, and living in change. Ms. Ty, you said we are called to be agents of change or change agents. Which one?
Agents of change.
Agents of change. We are agents of change. We are centers of influence, and we are also called to be repairers of the breach. That means we have the capacity of having good times, enjoyable times with each other. So before I talk, I just want to go around and introduce ourselves to everyone, all right? I call this passing the mic. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to pass the mic to someone, and someone going to introduce themselves, tell us what brought you to this forum, what you plan to achieve, and and that's it. Tell us your name, why you are here, who brought you here, and what you plan to learn. So I'll start off. My name is Garrett Ingram. I am the host of this forum. I I have been married for 21 years to one wife. She's also my fiance. She's also my friend. You know, she's everything. And I'm here to learn from others because even though I've been married, I still want to date my wife. I still want to have the same vigor that I had when we started dating. Last week we went on a date, and I just told my wife Nicola, I said, Nicole, let's go out, let's go on a date. And we normally take our kids with us, but we said, no, not this time. we'll bring you something from, we'll bring you something, but this is just for us. And we had a great time. So I will pass the mic to Roberta. Since you were the first one in this forum, I'm going to pick on you. Okay. So introduce yourselves. Tell us what brought you here and what you plan to learn.
Well, my name's Roberta, and I'm single. And I'm always going to be learning as long as I'm alive. So that's what brought me here today. I like to learn. If there's some things that I have learned, I like to share. So it's going to be like give and take, hopefully, for me. But that's what brought me here tonight. And I think it's really nice to always find out something new.
Oh, great. Oh, okay. Pass the mic to somebody.
Oh, I don't know everybody, but the next person, and don't forget, I don't know everybody here. So the next person, it's up to you.
Okay. I'll say, Taisha, the mic is passed to you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Ty. And hello, YouTubers. Okay, so I'm Ty. The reason I'm here is because you, Dr. Ingram, invited me to come for me to share my wealth of knowledge when it comes to the dating versus the marriage life. So I come here to gain some insight, maybe, let me see. I'm trying to gain some insight in terms of what's new, what's hip, what's not, you know what I'm saying, the do's and don'ts, I guess, and just to get a better perspective when it comes to the dating life.
And
But
how
I'm not married though.
how do we know each other?
How do we know each other? Well, you are my supervisor. You're
I'm
my
your
colleague as
supervisor.
well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
Miss Taisha is a member of my child protective team with Children's Services. Okay, she's an
Oh, nice.
excellent worker. She
That's
makes my
nice.
job easier, and she's like a sponge. She's soaking in the many different perspectives I use in counseling, and not only she takes it, she remixes it, and she makes it her own,
Good.
and she uses it to guide her therapeutic approach when she meets with her families.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay,
Yes.
I know Tony is here, but she cannot talk because she's actually in a conference. But I thank her, Tony, for joining us. She's also a member of my team. All right. And I'm glad that she is here. So I will pass the mic to Aloma. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I love your picture. I love your picture. It's been a long time. Miss Aloma and I worked at Emergency Children's Services, which is the night shift. All right. How are you doing today? Can you show yourself or are you unable to?
Oh, I'm not able to show myself right now.
Okay, so introduce yourself and tell us what brings you here and your marital status or your single status.
Um, Good evening, everyone. My name is Aloma, and I'm here because I saw the topic marital dating and singular dating, and I thought that it would be quite interesting and a great learning experience. My marital status is complicated.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
And do we know each other?
Yes, we do. So I worked with Dr. Ingram some many years ago, like you said, at Emergency Children's Services. Wonderful supervisor. He shared with me the lesson study, anything that he found that would be beneficial, he would share. So we've kept in contact, and now these meetings, I found the YouTubes, they've been very interesting. I've been looking at them, even though I haven't been commenting. However, I'm tuning in.
Oh, great, 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 great. It's nice to see you again. And by see from the picture, you probably look younger than you look in the picture, right? One thing I believe when we focus on positivity, the aging process slows down and we start to age gracefully. And that's one thing I always admire you, your swag, how you conduct yourself, and how you are able to stay in control, even when the situation is stormy. And that's a wonderful trait a woman can have. Staying in control, even through the midst of storms. And that's what I always appreciate about you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Angela, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, introduce yourself. What brings you here and what you plan to learn?
My name is Angela. I am here today to share everything that I've learned, and I plan to gain insight from others.
Okay, and how do we know each other?
I met you 2 years ago through marriage counseling.
Oh, right, right. And let me tell you about Miss Angela. I came to realize that there is every one of us are special. Every human being is special. You can learn from each other, right? Angela had given me several perspectives that has strengthened my therapeutic approach. One thing that came to mind, she gave me a perspective that's titled, "We need to be people like that." That's the topic, people like that. And that means that we have to be unique. We have to be solution focused. We have to realize that there is something beautiful or handsome about each and every person. And we need to see ourselves always in a positive light. so we can influence others to see themselves in a positive light. And Angela, I love you for that, for giving me perspective that causing me to slow myself down, call perspective, so I can see the bigger picture. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and Angela, your hair looks lovely this evening. She knows my sense of humor. All right. Lonnie, are you there?
Yes, I am.
How you doing, Lonnie? Introduce yourself. Tell us what brings you here and what you plan to learn.
Uh, I heard about this Zoom just a few hours ago. I was invited, and I plan to tap into the cumulative knowledge that I expect to find here because I'm dating with the intent to get married.
Oh, great, great. And who invited you?
One of your guests, a
Oh,
friend of
one of my
mine.
guests invited you. All right, all right. I like that. Okay. All right. So the topic this evening is dating, the similarities of dating, whether you're single or married, the similar and differences of dating. Now, here's a question. I'm going to share my screen. This is a wonderful quote that I have picked up. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Taisha, okay, you are my hype person. You're my co-host this evening. So I want you to read this with your teacher's voice.
Okay. It says, the greatest want of the world is a want of men. Men who will not be bought or sold. Men who is in their inmost souls are true and honest. Men who do not fear to call sin by its right name. Men whose conscience is as true to duty as the needle of the pole. Men who will stand for the right through the heavens fall.
Yep. By doing counseling for the last, I'm thinking about the counseling I'm doing from in the church and also within my field. For last about 20 years, I've been doing counseling. And I've been working in this field of child protective services for 34 years. Anyone who works with me, I have challenged them and I have asked them this question: are you a relational expert? And that means, for example, in my job, I've been working for 34 years. I must have had over maybe close to 1,500 investigations dealing with every different ethnicity, relational status, right? And a couple of my colleagues who are in this forum have also been in the field for a long period of time dealing with families of different ethnicities. Now, if you are, if you have not worked in the field of child protection, but you have been involved in relationships, I came to realize when you start to take ownership of yourself and your relational functioning, you can become a relational expert. So in other words, you are always going to examine yourself, examine the emotion that's driving your behaviors, right? So you can make decisions with the best interest of yourself and others. Now, it takes time to really get to know yourself and know the emotions that drive your behavior. For example, I have very little patience. If you have known me, I have very little patience. And sometimes people say, what are you talking about, Gary? You all have no patience? I said, yeah, I don't have no patience. But here, this is what happened. I took ownership, right? I realized that there was like a, let's say, a sickness in me called impatience. I named it, externalized. This is the car perspective. I rolled down the window, right? Angela, Tony, Sister Roberta, I think we talked about the car perspective, and Ty, with your PhD in car perspective. I rolled down the window, named impatience, threw it out the window, or better yet, I put it in my trunk. So wherever I go, impatience go with me. And then I asked and I claim patience to be the theme that govern my behaviors. So every circumstance I find myself in is an opportunity to be patient. And I came to realize that, you know what, in a relationship, it's so important for us men to create an atmosphere for the woman to shine. I honestly believe the same feelings, woman, you get when you go get your hair done, where you take care of yourselves. When we speak a word of life in you, it's as if that good feeling that you get when you get your hair done, that you spend time yourself, that's the same thing that happened to you. Because men are called to be leaders, right? And then we encourage the woman in our life, we encourage you, we cheerlead you on to follow that example by creating a safe space where you feel comfortable with expressing yourself without feeling that you're going to be degraded. Does that make sense? So give me some feedback, guys. So it's so important for men, and I came to realize there's so much power, um, so much power as a man when we start to understand who we are, where we came from, where we are, and the purpose we have. So when that happens, you find that there is something unique about you. You don't have to put on cologne to get the attention. You have a certain air about yourself. You have a certain ambiance about yourself. Young people like to say swag. You have a certain swag about yourself because you know that you are living in truth. And the greatest change that happened to me in my walk when I started to accept accountability, I was like, wow, this is amazing. When you start to live in truth and you can have healthy interactions with others, right? So I came to realize that, and once I seen that being played out in my relational function, my marital function, my relationship with my staff, it was like, hey, we are working together for a common cause, right? So Taisha, I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. When we work together to move these cases, it's as if we are enjoying ourselves on a date. It's called a professional date, right? Or you can even say we are married as colleagues to work together to enhance family. Does that make sense? So unbeknownst to you, I don't know if you realize this. I don't know if you realize the themes that I've been teaching you and you've been following it is exactly what we should be doing in our relational functioning, in our yeah, in our professional and our personal, I was looking at the word person, in our personal functioning. Because when we get cases, it's like this. When we get cases, it's as if this is the last case that you're going to have. So one of the purpose of dating is to be honest with the person who you're going to date with, right? You know, because some people, it depends what you want, and you owe it to yourself and owe it to the person who you're dating is exactly what are you looking for, right? Does that make sense, guys? So I say to myself, if I was single today, right, and this is what I told my son, if I was single today, because my intention, men date because they're looking for the perfect woman who's going to cooperate with the four things that men must do before you find yourself to be relational, a relational jewel or relational pearl. Four things each man have to do. We need to have a ministry of self, which basically means we have to master our past experiences so we can shine like a diamond in the present so we can have a fabulous future. That's number one, right? Ministry of self. The second ministry is the ministry of your home. Men, I challenge every man, you have to be independent with taking care of home, washing dishes, taking care of your home, right? Everything you have to be comfortable doing and you have to do. Taking care of the home. Number three, you have to be family oriented and it starts with yourself. This is related to ministry of self. Being a master of your past, present, and future and asking yourself, what triggers do I have that can potentially be a problem? You get that? And once you start to understand these three things, the next thing you need to do is how does this ministry going to impact your the woman who you can potentially think about getting married to? Because your job really is to make her a better woman, right? There's a text in Genesis where when God took Adam before Eden, and he put him in Eden, and he told Adam, your job is to keep it and to dress it. Keep it. That means that if you're in a relationship, from the spiritual perspective, that relationship is meant for eternity if you have identified that this person is the person you're married. Men, you are called to keep it and dress it, means that your job is to make her even better. Woo! Make her even better. You can't make that woman better till you start to make yourself better. So when we master those three things, then your decision-making activities become better. Now, here's something that's fascinating. And this is something I realized. I didn't do these things before I got married, but I came across a text in the Bible that says that Jesus redeems the time, which basically means he can put those perspectives into practice now. Now, here's the catch. This is what I'm all about, and this is what each man is challenged to do. The woman is called to cooperate with this ministry. And when you cooperate, the only way you can cooperate with this ministry is that you have to find out the same things. You have to follow what he is doing, and you have to incorporate that so you guys can build a legacy together. Does that make sense? So people date for different reasons. And you know, nowadays, a lot of people are like a microwave. You want fast relationship. If that's what you want, it behooves you to say that in the beginning. This is all I want. I'm just interested in having a good time. I don't want a long-term relationship. This is what I'm looking for, right? If that's what you want, state it so this way you can be on the same page, right? I don't think this is healthy in the year 2024. That's my prerogative. You know, I'm not trying to influence others, but there's too many people that's playing games, too much confusion, right? I said to myself, if I was single today, I'm looking to get married. I'm looking to get married. The knowledge I had now, if I had before, whoa, oh man. But I would date with the prospect of getting married. I would not hold your hand. I'm not going to go into your house. You're not going to come to my house, right? Or you might come to my house. You're not staying after 6. No, I'm not staying at your house after 6. But I want you to see how I'm living. I want to see how you living, right? I want to see. I want to see how if you meet in my vibe, because I'm ready to take care of you. Same way right now, these 4 things I put in perspective to make my wife's job easier. She has to acquiesce to that and say, hey, you know what? These are your 4 ministries. I need to find my role in it. Because what men are looking for, ladies, men are looking for cooperation, right? And I know what you're looking for, and you have every right to be respected, have security, have stability, for us to listen to what you have to say, right? And to have meaningful conversations, right? So I think that dating is an opportunity for you to fully examine if this person is worthy to have a long-lasting relationship. And ladies, I challenge you to you have to have an inquisitive eye so you can examine if this person has the capabilities of leading you. Because men are called to be the head. We need you to be our neck. We need you to support us in these 4 ministries, right? And nowadays, there's a whole lot of mental health after COVID that's going around. A lot of people are having mental health issues. A lot of people are smoking marijuana. A lot of people are coming out of the closet. There is so much confusion going on right now. So you have to be in control of your emotions so you don't get hurt. And I've seen so many times, women are getting hurt, right? Now, here's the common denominator, and this is why the greatest onus is on men. Ms. Ty, I'm going to ask you some questions. How long have you been working in the field of child protection services?
Historically,
Yes.
a little bit over 9 years.
In all your
Historically,
cases,
altogether.
and the 9 years, 4 hours, 3 minutes, and 2 seconds.
Sounds about
In
right.
your experience, the majority of your cases you worked with are men in the picture.
Very seldom. It's very rare.
And why is that?
Because a lot of the cases come in like finger pointing when it comes to the mother. So it comes to the mothers, like the ladies, the women, the mothers. Because majority of the cases that come in, regardless of the socioeconomic status, is always in an area where it's mostly African American descent or like Latina descent. So a lot of the concerns that do come in through the state is usually triggered towards mothers.
Right. Miss Juanita, thank you for joining. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
How you
Good,
doing? How
good
are you
evening.
doing?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
All right, Miss Juanita also works inside the field of child protective services. Miss Juanita, I want to ask you a question. You're a supervisor, right?
Correct.
In the
Uh-huh.
majority of your cases that your staff has, and also your experience as a CPS worker, are men in the picture of the family dynamics?
Very rare. Very rarely are they involved.
Right. Right.
Yep.
And Mr. Loma, thank you, Juanita. Mr. Loma, and Mr. Loma also works inside the field, and I'm pretty
Yes,
sure
I'm here.
you work in the field. In the majority of the cases you worked for, the many years you worked with the agency, still looking young, and you got to tell me what the fountain of youth is because I need to know it too. Are the majority of your cases are men in the picture of the family?
No, they were not. No.
Yeah.
They were all, in the mother's name, first of all, because that's how the state does it. Put the cases in the mother's name. And most of the time, the allegations are against the mothers.
Yeah.
Although we do make diligent efforts to locate the fathers, sometimes it was very challenging.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. And this is something I have noticed in the last couple of months. And it really has caused me pain in my heart because of the absence of men in the home. A lot of pressures are on women to not only be the mother but also be the father. And as a result, a lot of women have become aggressive. And there are some women who are losing their femininity. What's femininity?
This is good. This is really good stuff, Dr.
Femininity. What's that word called? Femininity?
Femininity. Yeah, femininity.
Yes, they're losing. They're becoming aggressive. And
Yeah.
we have family team meetings and child safety conferences that I and my staff have, and then Miss Juanita have, and I'm pretty sure Aloma has, Tony has, and you'll find in these sessions, if the men are there is a combative discussion, blaming each other, right? And if we don't take control of the scenario, that we'll still be in that conference focusing on the issue, right? And there comes a time when we have to say to ourselves, what happened in the relationship when there isn't the fortitude to have that mindset that, you know what? I will, no matter what's going on, I will keep a picture in my mind of the enjoyment we had when we first went on our date. Are you with me? And I say to myself, Tyler Perry was right when he made that movie, The Diary of an Angry Black Woman. And it's so much pressure on the woman that today. I love that poem by Phenomenal Woman, because women are doing an excellent job keeping the family together. But one of the disadvantages that's going on, and we've seen a lot at the agency. Oh, I want to put it out there, agency I work with. We have teenagers, men, that's seeking to have sex change operations. Right? We've seen that, and I'm wondering what's going on with the role confusion that's going on. Why are men not in the picture? What has happened when for men to say, you know what? No matter what, I am here for eternity. And nowadays, a lot of men are like grasshoppers. You're going from burrow to burrow. And the worst part of it, we having children as young as 12 years old, 13 years old, having what, babies? Miss Taisha, babies, 13 years old. Your body is not ready to deliver a baby, and your brain is not even fully developed until you're 25 years old. And what happens to a young lady when a baby goes through your birth canal and your birth canal is not fully ready? You can't deal with the psychological pain that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. All right. So I want to talk about this dating, because sometimes we really don't understand the dynamics of dating, especially if you put your feelings, ladies, if you put your feelings before your thoughts, right? And you're not really taking time to really get to know you, you can make a long-lasting problem. Once you put your feelings in there, it's really difficult to deal with the triggers. Now, give me some feedback. Come on, ladies, give me some feedback. Am I the only? Oh, Lenny, how you doing, Lenny? You got to help me out here. Give me some discussions, guys, because this, if you know me, I'm very interactive. So I'm asking you to unmute yourselves if you can. Tell me, what is your understanding of dating? Whether you're single, whether you married, what is your understanding for dating?
I could say something. When dating, I don't think that you should skip the courtship and go directly into marriage. I think you should take your time to get to know each other. I used to be in charge of a singles ministry, and we would meet Friday nights. We have a Bible study, and then we have open forum. One of the questions that came up is, on a date, when you're on a date, is kissing fornication? And it can be, whether it's on the mouth or on the cheek, on your forehead, because it could lead to passion. It could lead to other passions. So there was a lot of young people in the room who were asking these questions. My grandson asked me today, what about flirting? Is flirting with someone else part of fornication also? And we have to remember to, before you can get other people to respect you, you need to respect yourself. And so, sometimes a man will come on aggressively, but the woman still should say, you know what, not today. And I want to get to know you before we even get to that point. And I think it's important to understand that. And so these were questions a lot of young people raise, even my grandson. And getting back to what you were saying about parents raising single parents. Well, I was a single grandparent raising 3 grandchildren. And sometimes it's a matter of circumstances. Like my son was very ill. He still is sick. This is physically as well as mentally, he's going through a lot. But I made the decision. I could have said, well, hey, I'm ready to just live my life now, let them go to a foster home. But that wasn't an option for me. I made the decision that I'm going to raise them. I'm going to take them into my home. And I'm going to get on my hands and knees and pray and ask God to help me. And that's exactly what he did. I'm also a paraeducator, but that's not what I did in life. I was training to be a teacher. I never knew that I was going to have to use this on my two grandsons. I think you and I, Dr. Garrett, talked about this. And one thing I learned during my training is that sometimes people will put limits on people who have disabilities. And that's the worst thing that you can do. So I didn't limit mine. And one of my grandsons who had autism graduated with a 4.9. So I didn't put limits on them. I said, we're going to learn. They went to cyber schools. We had a lot of fun. I mean, to be honest, it wasn't a burden for me. Those were actually some of the best years of my life, having them with me. And let's see, I'm going to try to put this back on. I hit the wrong button. I thank God because I had that opportunity to spend with them. It was a different role for me because I had to say, you know what, I'm a grandma, and grandmas should bake cookies and send them on their way. Am I on?
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you for sharing.
To be put on my camera.
Should dating be complicated?
Yeah, and so when dating, you got to get back into the control of your own identity, and don't let, just because you're dating, get carried away in the dating scene or mode and say, okay, just gonna do my thing out here. I think it's very important to stay in control. And I'm 64. I wouldn't have any problems dating. I'll be 65
Well,
with the
Miss
right
Roberta,
guy.
we can't
But
see your pretty
I know
face.
what?
Can you move your camera to we can't see your pretty face.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. I'm sorry. But it keeps falling down. I'm on my phone and it keeps falling.
Oh, okay. So should dating be complicated?
Only if you let it, but it shouldn't be. It should be a great experience.
All right. Oh, thank you. So I posed that question out there. Should dating be complicated? Thank you, Roberta, for sharing your experience. Any other thoughts?
No,
Should
I
dating
don't
be
think dating should be complicated. Actually, like the older that I get, I've been married for 21 years, like you, Dr. Ingram.
Yes.
And because I was married young, I'm now finding that it's important to be friends first before you even start dating. And that friendship should continue along the course of dating, marriage, right through. It should be someone you're comfortable with. Feel free to share anything about yourself, be vulnerable with the person in all aspects of your life. So I think that the friendship part is very important and dating shouldn't be complicated at all.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Is it okay to date multiple people? Come on, Angela. I see you shaking your head.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and explain.
You're not off the market until you're married, or unless you and that other person decide to exclusively date one another.
Yeah. Okay. So I very insightful. Is it okay to tell the person you're dating that I am dating, I'm looking to get married? Is is there anything wrong with that?
No.
Oh, Shawnice, is that you?
Yes.
Okay, I see your fan, but I want to see your pretty face. Go ahead.
Hey.
How you doing?
I think you should be able to tell someone that you are dating and that you would like to get married. So if that's not their goal, then you don't need to waste their time and they don't need to waste your time.
Okay. All right.
You're not saying you want to get married tomorrow, but if your end goal is to get married, there's nothing wrong with saying that, I'm dating and I will, I would like to ultimately, get married. Yes.
Okay. Now pay attention to this. I want you to look at me if you can, ladies. Lonnie, listen to this. As a woman, you're telling the guy that you're dating to get married and you will be dating other people. Pay attention to his facial expressions and
No, no,
body
no, no,
language.
no. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If he is dating you with the same intention and he does not want you to be dating anyone else, then his goal will be the same goal as you, to be the end game. But I'm not gonna be just dating you if you don't have the same end goal as me.
Oh, wait, you one step ahead of me. Now,
Oh, okay.
now when you show him your cards and you saying this is the purpose I'm dating, look at the facial expressions and body language to see if he's on board with that. If he's on board with that, his facial expressions and body language is going to tell you that he approves of that. If you say that and he starts to frown, then you know that he has a different agenda. Are you with me? See,
Yeah.
you can't.
I hear what you're saying, GI. I hear what you're saying.
Okay, go ahead.
But I think it's really important to establish what exactly is the intention of the courtship. Do you know
Yes.
what I'm saying? By unfolding each deck of the cards, whether it's you just want to have a good time, whether it's you want something long term, you want to lead into a marriage. I think it's really to put it from the beginning, from day one. So both parties are understanding each other's expectation and understanding the boundaries that actually being put in place. You understand? And I think a lot of, again, and if I offend anybody, I apologize. I feel like nowadays the boundaries are not is not clear on both parties. I'm not gonna say on the man or the woman. I'm gonna say on both parts, because this is where the clarity. This is what not the clarity. This is where the confusion comes into play. Okay, so I think it's really important that, because especially if you are in the big initial stages of building that courtship, which is the dating phase, I think it's really important just to discuss, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for. If this is something that you're able to match or at least exceed to that expectation, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. One of my favorite shows, I think I said a lot for those who know me, is Criminal Minds, right? And I have learned from that show to be an analyst, really understanding behavior. Before you can understand others' behaviors, you have to learn about you. You have to be a master of your facial expressions and body language. Like I'm the type of person, you're gonna know when I'm upset. You gonna know, you're gonna know when something's bothering me, because I'm gonna let you know. I don't hide anything. I'll let you know how I'm feeling. And the more I realize, the more I invest in myself, because I think what happens is we have a PhD in negative emotions and a GED in positive emotions. I got kind of quiet in here. We have a PhD, we have several PhDs in negative emotions and a GED in positive emotions. That needs to be changed. And once it's changed, then you start to get knowledge of whether this person is valuable to be in your circle of life. I love the courtship because you're courting someone with the idea of having a long-term relationship with them. And that's the time when you ask yourself, not everyone is spiritual, but whoever is your maker, because everyone has a maker, everyone has something or someone that gives them positive energy. You ask that person or that thing, whatever it may be, am I marriage material? Do my triggers have the capabilities of causing this person problems? Thirdly, what are this person's triggers? And can this person make me a better person? Can I make that person a better person? These are all questions you ask yourself while you are courting, right? Because the reason why I say that is that once you put your emotions in it, and I do believe that there should be celebrants, you should hold yourself because you are a Jew and not give yourself to any Tom, Dick, or Harry or Sally, whatever men and women should hold yourself. You are valuable because nowadays you just don't know if the person's playing games or not. You're not with the person 24/7. So you don't know what they're doing, right? A lot of these things come out after marriage. And you
Yeah,
realize
that's why you can have that conversation on the first date, but that really means nothing because somebody can tell you what they want to tell you on the first date, the second and the third date. So that really means absolutely nothing. They can tell you that for a whole 6 months or a year, but it takes several conversations
yeah,
and you watching and being around them
yes.
and how they operate, because people, you can have all these conversations and talk until you blue in the face, and those would mean absolutely they mean nothing.
Yeah. See, here's the point what you're saying. And this is called the ladder perspective. As you having these conversations, and remember, as I said earlier, what's happening nowadays is a lot of women are becoming aggressive. Men do not want aggressive women.
Mhm.
Women do not want aggressive man when you feel that you say something, he's going to beat you. Having meaningful conversations, meaning that even though you disagree, you're not talking over each other. Like a family team meeting, Taisha, you're not talking to each other. You're building each other up. If this is not happening in the midst of your courtship, like Shawnee's saying, courtship is like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dates, and you kind of woman, you know if the person's listening to you, know that, right? And you're not feeling that vibe, that's telling you something. That you know what, this needs to stop. It's easier to let go if you did not give yourself into the person. You know exactly what I mean by that, right? And if you withhold yourself while you are examining that person, you can make better decisions for yourself, right? A lot of women, for what I have learned, they have relational difficulties because they have been hurt many times inside the past, right? And when that happens, it's going to cloud your judgment. You can have a prince in front of you, but you're looking at that prince as that person who hurt you inside the past. Same thing happens for men. You have a queen in front of you, but you never got off of what happened in the past or took responsibilities for what you have done. And as a result, you're treating that queen as if she is invaluable. So dating, and what I have learned from doing this for so many years, and especially at the family team meetings, and the child safety conference, I'm sitting there and I'm just saying myself, if only the couple knows that the weight of the relationship will get off your shoulders when you take responsibility. There's nothing more beautiful in a relationship when you take responsibility for your actions. And I use the acronym HOT, right? Angela, what does the acronym HOT stand for? Can't sleep on me.
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay. Taisha, what does the acronym HOT stand for?
HOT stands for humility, O stands for ownership, and T stands for transparency.
Right.
Thank you, Taisha.
Oh, thank you, Taisha. and Taisha, her desk is actually in front of my desk, and if you know me, I'm a talker, so she gets to hear me all the time. So when you take ownership of your relationship, imagine a heavy weight is taken off your shoulders. Now here's the catch. if your partner is sober, and we all are intoxicated with something, if they're sober and they understand that the greatest love that elicits change is unselfish love, they will respond accordingly and follow your lead. But here's the catch. We men, we're supposed to be like this continuously. Women are called to be followers. Men are called to be leaders, right? And it's when I see that dynamics played in relationships, sometimes when we go to the restaurant, I'm watching other couples and just looking at the dynamics being played. That is powerful unity for the next generation, which is our children, our teenagers, and so forth. So dating with the idea of courtship, and most people who I meet, single people, want to get married, right? Women want to get married because women is, from a biblical perspective, women, there's many women in the Bible did not feel as if there was a woman unless they was married and have children. But nowadays, it's different. You can feel as a woman when you take care of your nieces and nephews, other children in the community, being involved in communities and churches and taking care of the children, and also valuing yourself and and how you can use your time, talent, and resources to lift up others, right? So some people do not desire to get married. Some people are comfortable being single. But the challenge I do when I counsel single women is to have that critical mindset to ensure that you're not placing yourself in harm's way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anybody can give me some feedback?
I think I don't think that women really want to stay single. I think that's what women.
Miss Shawnice, can you come closer?
Can you see me?
I see you now. I want to see your pretty face.
Oh, I'm sorry. Put this up. Yeah, I don't think that women really want to be single. I think that's what women tell themselves because they haven't found someone. They haven't met the right person. Or someone haven't asked them to marry them. But no one wants to do life by themselves. No one wants to go through life, by themselves. But sometimes situations happen and they tell themselves that because it just sounds better than saying, "Oh, I'm bitter and I just don't want to get married." So it's I don't want to get married, I'm fine being by myself. But who wants to go home to an empty bed or by themselves? Who wants to not have someone to talk to bounce their ideas off of, or to be comforted when they're going through trying times? Or no one who wants to go through that. No one wants to. We are not called to live life alone.
Okay,
they're lying to themselves.
well, thank you, Shawnee. So I have a question I want to ask the woman here. Whether you're married or whether you're single, what qualities are you looking in a man?
I'm gonna skip this question.
Juanita?
Hi, I didn't hear
Hi,
your
how you
question.
doing? What
Good.
qualities are important for men to have?
I think it's important for men to be sensitive to a woman's needs. I feel that it's important for a man to not only be sensitive, but understanding to the needs of a woman, be consistent. Consistency is important. What else? And good communication. However, we do know that most men are not great at communication, but it would be nice.
So I heard sensitive communication and what else?
Consistent.
Consistency. So this is what I would do. If I have my eyes on Juanita, right? Beautiful name, right? And And she's telling me she's looking for a man to be sensitive, to be an excellent communicator, and consistency. You best to believe these going to be three things that I am going to master. You get that? And I have to ask myself, even when the storms are raging, I challenge myself to be sensitive, to have important communication with her, to meet her needs, and to be consistent in everything I do. This is what's important to her. And if I do these three things, it's going to help her shine like a diamond. And that means, and let me tell you how women are. See, a woman wants to know that she is the most important person in the man's life. Because the truth of the matter, there would not be any children if it wasn't for the person. So the man could be watching the game. The woman will come and ask him, I need to talk to you, right? While the game is on, right? And we need to have the mindset, this is the car perspective. Slow the car down. Even though it's sunny outside and it's 55 degrees, slow it down. And you know what? Turn off the TV. It's game 7, Chicago Bulls against the Knicks. Turn it off, right? Oh, you want to talk? All right, let's talk. Now, what's bothering you, right? Because I want to be consistent. I want to be sensitive, and I want to have healthy communication, right? So let's talk. What's bothering you, honey? No looking at the TV, turning everything off. No looking at the phone, meeting her needs, right? And if I'm meeting her needs as a man, these are 3 things that's important to her. It's going to be easy for her to cooperate with the mission I said before because I'm meeting her needs. Does that make sense? And this is what's missing in relationship. Men are not listening to the woman in their lives. So woman, you express your needs, and if he's not living in what you expect for him, that tells you something. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
For example, I'm gonna give you an example. Miss Juanita and we met by phone, right? Juanita, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
We met by phone.
Yes.
Right? And I was able to develop a rapport with her by making her laugh. And I think I said something like that. You know, I'm very concerned, Juanita, that you didn't eat lunch today. Right.
Right.
And she started laughing and so forth. And she started to feel comfortable. When we create a safe space for a woman, is you feel radiant because you feel safe, you feel important, right? And once you develop a safe space and you meeting the needs of the woman, the relationship can take off like a rocket. Yes. So great. So guys, this is important. This is important information. We're talking about dating, right? We're talking about the importance of courtship. And the reason why this is important right now is because young people are not looking to get married. A lot of young people are not looking to get married. Instead of being an oven that, let me slow down. Instead of being a slow cooker, where you are taking time to get your education, get your car, get your house, because the young people should not be leaving the home to be renting. You should be leaving your home to own your own house, right? The first biblical promise the first commandment with a promise is commandment number 5. Honor your parents, and if you do so, your days shall be long. Right? There's young people want to exert themselves, but you don't know what the world is out there. If you take care of yourself and respect your parents and go to school, and hopefully you have a healthy relationship with your parents based on how you respect them, maybe you can stay to the home until you finish school, you save your money, and then you can leave your parents' home to get your own home. And if you practice these 4 things that we have talked about, you find yourself being prestigious, honorable. And then you discuss your ideas. And if that woman is smart, she's going to say, oh, wait a minute. Not only is this guy fine, he has his education, he has his house, he has a mission for himself and the family. And if you buy into that and support him and let him know how you can do it, because what you're really supposed to do in the midst of courtship is being the helpmeet for his mission by making him a better man, by doing the deeds to help him out and to support him. And then it's easy to see, hey, this woman is the one I should marry. Then you become a powerful couple. Here's the catch. If that didn't happen, you still can do it today by taking the steps to take ownership, hot perspective. Angela, people like that, when you realize that you are a peculiar person, you let go of heavy circumstances, give it to your maker, and say to myself, today, I'm going to live in truth. My circle of life is going to be about truth. I'm going to be solution focused. And I demand quality because I am of quality, right? And when you start to do that, you bring in holistic health into your relationship. And then you are influencing others to do the same thing, right? Here's the catch. Not everyone is intoxicated 24/7. Someone who's using drugs, you're not using drugs 24/7. And sooner or later, that seed that they see that you are doing will germinate in their hearts, right? And meanwhile, if you are married, how you can influence change by becoming the best helpmeet if you are a wife that you need to be to support your husband. If you are married, take in these 4 qualities. I'm going to talk about 7 directives that married men and single men need to have to uplift that woman. And there's nothing more special to see a woman that's radiant, right? That's, she doesn't have no makeup on, but she's still fine. Whoa! She's elegant because she feels important and supported. And this is a woman that does not have to raise her voice. She maintains her femininity all the time. And when she talks, she likes E.F. Hutton. You know she's in the room because she is of essence and she feels supported. And when a woman feels supported, their self-esteem and their confidence is heightened all the time. And this is what I challenge myself to do, even when at home and every type of relationship I'm having, to be the solution, to be the leader, to create a platform where the women in my life feel comfortable expressing themselves and not feeling they walking on eggshells. And I'm going to support you in this change. So here are 7 qualities that every man should have in order to have a successful relationship. Number 1, inspiration. We need to be inspired for ourselves so we can inspire others. And that means that we have to examine ourselves to see what areas need to change, make that change so we can have a better future. I give you 2 songs by Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror and Heal the World. I can't heal you until I heal myself. I need to change that man in the mirror. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to make that change. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at myself, Garrett, and make that change. Then I'm going to go about healing the world. My job is to make you a better person. You know what? Let me slow down. Tony works with me. Aloma worked with me, and Ty worked with me. And I have told each one of them, my job is to make you even better than what I am right now, to have you take over my position. You know, it's funny because I'll give you a little side note. They changed my area and they brought me to another area, right? And I said, if you're going to change my area, you know, Taisha has to come with me. No, I'm not going to go in the area. She's coming with me. Here's the catch. When I advocated for her, right? When a man advocates for that woman, it made her feel special. She was like, wow, He feels that I'm special. I said, yeah, because you have as a professional. Now check this out. Let me slow this down here. I'm married to Taisha because we have a common cause at our job. We are professionals working together for a common cause. You get that? So as a leader, I create an environment so I can cheer her to take on the qualities that I exhibited and is making her a better person because she feels supported. Right? Taisha, what do you have to say for that?
You're right. You're right about that.
And that's what's needed in a relationship. That's what's needed in our relationship. I say like this. The most important, the second thing the first ministry I talk about is the ministry of self. The second ministry I say is the ministry of the home. Why the home is so important? Your home is called to be a piece of paradise. As you breathe it in the atmosphere of your home, you're breathing out anything that's of harm that's inside of you. That's the atmosphere in your home. So when we leave our home's supposed to be a place of peace. When you leave your home, you just don't know what encounters you're going to have out in the world. So when you have that mindset that whoever I'm getting in contact with, I'm going to live in peace so I can demonstrate peace. And what happens is that the grace that's in you is being given to them. And when you have these difficult days, all you have to do is just think about your home. And this is what I challenge men to think about your home. And you start to feel good. Then you start thinking about your family, your wife, your children. And that grace that you have given, that grace I have given Taisha, or I have given Roberta, or have given Tony, or Alomba, or Shawnice, or Angela, that grace is given back to me when I think about my home, and I think about my family. And that's the importance. That's the importance of moving forward in grace, moving forward in dating yourself. You got to date yourself before you date someone else. You got to date yourself before you get married. Any thoughts? I said a lot.
I think that, okay, it's me again. I think that dating and marriage is two different, I feel like there's two different, when it comes to when it boils down to the communication, I feel that dating and marriage is two different things. Because I feel like dating focuses on like the surface of things, like talking about dreams, talking about goals, talking about expectations, talking about boundaries. And I feel like marriage, on the other hand, it talks about shared responsibilities, such as conflicts, talking about dreams, talking about shared social support and stuff like that, if that makes any sense.
Oh, all right. Great. Yeah, there's similarities and there are differences. And
I think that when you're married, I think the courtship should continue. Just
yes.
like you said, you took your wife on a date. I think it should continue. You're going to have responsibilities and share things together even more than you did when you were dating, but that's even more reason why. And one thing we didn't bring up is that men like to be courted too. They do.
I
It's
like
a
that.
fact.
I
They
like that.
like to
Ladies,
be
you heard
courted
that?
too. I one time an attorney won a case for me, and I said, "Well, he has everything. What do I give him? What can I do to thank him?" I sent him flowers and candy, and he said, "You know what? My wife never even sent me flowers and
Wow.
candy." Men like flowers too. They do. So if you just think about some of the things sometimes you would like while you're courting, and do the same thing for him. Like you said, you and your wife went on a date. It could be a secret date. You could say, "Meet me somewhere," or something like that, a secret date. I mean, if you don't keep that romance going, that fire is going to go out.
Oh, I love.
Men do like to be courted too.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because reciprocity is so important in relationship. And with women, when a man does for you, when he does something for you, what he's also telling you is for you to do well for him. Sometimes the same thing that he's doing for you is exactly what he wants you to do for him. Thank you, Roberta. That's great insight. Now, here are the seven directives, and let me look at the time. I want to end at 9:30. Seven directives of men should be doing to have successful professional and personal relationships. Number one, inspiration. Number two, responsibility. Number three, faith and freedom of choice, making wise choices. Number four, direction, purpose and vision. Number five, employment. Very, very important for men to be employed. As a result of the pandemic, a lot of men have lost their jobs. Number six, the law of unselfish love, which is the greatest emotion to elicit change in self and others. And lastly, authority. Authority to take ownership of your entire life, right? When a man start taking ownership and stop blaming or shaming, he becomes such valuable, valuable, valuable. He is so valuable because he is someone that can have healthy discussions with you. Very, very important. And as I look at these seven qualities, this is something I challenge myself as a husband, as a friend, as a colleague, as an elder in my church to exemplify and live in these seven directives so I can lead women to be the best they can be. So I would thank everyone for participating and sharing your thoughts. Before we leave, I'm going to go around the room and just give me give me an overview of what you have learned. What is your takeaway from this session this evening? What is your takeaway? And I'm going to start with Aloma. Tell me your takeaway from this session.
I say what the last person just said, that men, they want to be dated too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Men desire to be courted. I love that. I gotta make sure my wife hears that. All right. So Shawnice, I'm gonna go around. What is your takeaway? You muted. Okay. All right. I'm going to come back to you. I'll go to Angela. I'll come back to you when you're unmuted. Angela, tell me what is your takeaway? And you are muted.
My takeaway from this is body language and actions speak louder than words. So it's important to be mindful of someone's reaction in that matter.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Lonnie, tell us your takeaway.
I believe that unselfish love is invaluable and it could make a huge difference.
Oh, great insight. Roberta, tell us your takeaway.
Dating and relationships can be beautiful, but they have to be mutual.
Reciprocity. That's a theme that always that's coming up a lot. And my takeaway is to have a growth spirit when it comes to dating. I want to continuously date my wife. And also in my professional endeavors, I want to date my colleagues whether they're men or women, to have fun in what we're doing. Because first thing that comes to my mind, dating is having fun. Even when I'm working, I want to have fun. I'd rather work in a spirit of enjoyment than work with stress. And so many people are working and living under stress. Right. I'll show you before Taisha goes on. I'll share a quick story with a colleague that used to work with us. Right, Taisha, you know what I'm talking about? When she came to my area, she said, I asked her after a couple of weeks of working in my area, I asked her, tell me what is your takeaway from being inside the unit. So she came in. She said, in this area, I see that no one works under stress. Am I right, Taisha? All right, very, very important. We should not have stress in our professional and our personal relationships. Taisha, the floor is on you. The mic is on you. Give me your takeaway and just share me some thoughts about what you have learned.
My takeaway is that I'm gonna sum it up like everybody says tonight. Dating can be very interesting, but it can also present challenges as well. And what I learned in today's forum is just learn how to make healthier choices, whether like everybody said, I'm gonna combine like everybody says, whether it's being mindful of the nonverbal cues, if it's learning how to be an effective listener, if it also means to be an effective communicator. So that's my takeaway.
All right. And I want to thank everyone for participating. I will upload this on my YouTube channel, and that's why I wanted us to have some fun and be insightful. All right, it's great, and I have been
I didn't go.
I'm getting a lot of positive reviews. For example, a friend of mine, Elder Rob, very good friend of mine, he has inspired me to start this YouTube channel, which has been on for over a month. And totally, I have over 6,000 views on the videos I have posted. And also, Taisha has been giving me some insight. She's my hype person. She's my secretary in Macon. All right. So I just want to thank everyone for inspiring me and supporting me in this YouTube channel. I want you to realize and live in the fact that you are special, that you are wonderfully made, and you are solution focused. So believe you can create change, not only in yourself, in your situations, and also in your life. I also posted a latest video. It's called The Cloud Perspective. And I shared this with Taisha, Angela, and Shawnice. Right. The cloud perspective is this. We are called to be still. And when you go outside and you still and you look up in the sky, you realize that the clouds are moving. The clouds is actually a mirror of you in your circumstances because your circumstances are moving. Or your clouds can also be Jesus. When we are moving, he is still because he's encouraging and praying for us to have victory. And when we are moving, when we are moving, he is still. When he is still, we are moving. So he is always encouraging us to step forward and to live in victory. Have a great evening, and I hope you enjoy this. And remember, we are striving for perfection while settling for
Excellent.
excellence. All right. Enjoy your evening. I'm going to end right now. Thank you, everyone.